Hello and welcome back to the Duckpond Ace Attorney Book Club. My name is Ziggy and I am here once again joined by Goomb and Allie to talk about Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutors Gambit, the one featuring Miles Edgeworth as the protagonist. Yes,
Hello.
Two featuring Miles Edgeworth as the protagonist.
we are back after a little bit of a break. Not exactly a break though, because this case is pretty dang long. So far, on average, cases have taken around 4, maybe 5 parts. This one is a whole 9 parts long. Although some of those parts are pretty short, to be fair. But there's a lot happening in this case, so we got a lot to talk about. How about we just get right into it, shall we? Before we go into any specifics or anything, Goom, how do you feel about this case?
It's pretty good. It's a bit long, but it's understandable because of the gimmick.
Yes, yes, indeed. Allie, how about you? What do you think about this case?
I mean, same thing. The gimmick does make sense, and like the storyline and the plot and the reasonings for why the case is structured the way it is makes a lot of sense. But it does definitely feel pretty lengthy. I remember getting through the first like flashback portion and being like, okay, well we're like halfway through the case. Nope, not at all. I thought that was like going to be the entire case is just the time, but no, we were doing both and.
Yeah, and as for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and preface this. I'm gonna glaze this case quite a bit during this discussion because I found the way it was structured and also the mystery of it to be very well done. So, very satisfied with this case. But yeah, I mean, it basically opens up with um, Eddie Fender and Miles go into an art museum where then Eddie starts recounting the case that happened 18 years ago with Miles' father, um, Gregory Edgeworth. Gregory himself. Is he called Gregory in the fan translation?
Yeah,
I mean,
Gregory Edgeworth.
they had the name for Ace Attorney 1. They're just going to use it.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
They didn't invent Gregory Edgeworth for this game. He was in Ace Attorney 1.
Um, but also, sorry, I skipped over it. We immediately start the case actually with a little singing number, which is
Oh yeah.
quite awesome, I have to say. I like how the music synced up. Like they didn't have lyrics for the song, but I like how the music synced up to like the text that was on the screen. Um, and also I think they voiced like when they did the name of the show, they had that part voiced, which was a nice touch.
Knife touch.
Yeah.
Knife touch.
Just like the knife that isn't in this case.
Yeah, there is no knives in this case. Um,
No good, no knife.
but that kind of just brings me to my first point about this case. I like all the little times where they have people singing. I don't know. I didn't find it annoying or anything. And I like that there was a lot of rhyming within the singing as well. Um,
There's a screenshot I have of Edgeworth saying, from Boilers to the Case, have I inadvertently stumbled onto the set of Cake Crimes, the musical? Which I think is true. It's
yeah,
true.
yeah. We're immediately hit with there being a bunch of singing in this case. Although I wouldn't say it's like overbearing or anything. There's just more than normal, for sure. And also a lot of confections in this case because there's a lot of confection things going on. But
On that,
oh,
I really appreciate Pixel Partners, the playthrough I'm watching, for always committing 110% to the voices and the game. Because they 100% sang it every single time there was a singing portion, and they like did their very best to like match it up to the background music.
oh, that's
And
good.
I just it was really adorable. I love them. And like the way that they were like singing together and like playing off of it. It made the case really just have a lot of charm to it.
Yeah.
You mentioned it.
Pretty immediately, we're introduced to Gregory Edgeworth and also a younger Eddie, still with his cap, but I guess he has like a ninja sort of outer layer now or something. I don't really know what that's about, but I gotta say Gregory makes a pretty good first impression. I mean, he's definitely a lot like Miles, but more hardened, and I guess also a defense attorney. And young Eddie is pretty good too. Immediately, I have to say, we're immediately introduced to their clients.
You get to see Edgeworth being the weird girl who follows Gregory around, like I said he was last case.
Yeah. We're introduced to the defendant in this case, or at least the case in the past, Samson Tangaroa. Like the tango, I guess. I don't really know what the Samson.
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Do you remember what the fan translation name was?
It's Jeff Masters.
Describe the character. Oh, Jeff Masters, of course.
Jeff Masters? I don't get it. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Listen,
Samson,
I'm
Jeff Master?
on the name for this. Maybe, I don't know.
Samson.
The fan translation was 2013. Was that a thing then?
I don't know.
Maybe 2015. I don't know. It's not that new.
Oh geez. Yeah, the fan translation not being that new, but that's like what, 11 years ago. That's pretty old at this point.
It's from like 2016 or 2015 or 2013. One of those years. It's from around then.
Yeah, just a couple of years ago, you know.
But the current translation is from like 2024. So
yeah. I don't know. Maybe the tango, but I don't really know if there's a pun in that name. It didn't.
Do you want me to see what the Attorney Wiki says now that I finally finished reading the rest of the dialogue?
Sure, you can look that up while we talk a bit more about Samson. But I feel like he makes a pretty good first impression. I mean, Eddie immediately goes into a song and dance with him, which is kind of funny. He's got an afro.
True fan.
You
like
get to see the
Ichiban?
famous baby Eddie Jazz Hands theme.
Yeah.
Oh, Tangaroa is a Maori god of the sea, which is a reference to his Japanese last name, which is a heavenly ocean, and because he built an ocean thing for his dessert display.
I see.
And then Samson is a character in the Bible who is imprisoned and lost his strength.
Oh, well, that is true. He is imprisoned.
Is that a Binding of Isaac reference?
Probably, yeah.
And then it also says that they probably chose Tangaroa because of the tango. So tango and the ocean.
Let me see. Yeah, but he is defined as our defendant, and we go over to not the art gallery. What the heck? It's actually the mansion, which is the home of what the people's show, Bacon Bop, Samson, and new character, Judy Bound. Wow. What do you guys think about Judy Bound?
Is that Delicia? The little
No.
lady?
Judy
That's
Bound.
Kate.
Oh.
She's Kate in the fan translation. I just don't remember her last name.
She's
It's
the
not
one
Master.
that's like on Bacon Bop with
Yeah. This is her baby form when she shows up.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, 18 years ago. She's pretty cool. I cocked her as maybe a possible person that committed the murder early on.
Doctor as a possible person. I think
As a possible
I think most
murder.
characters they scare me. I see them I'm like, yeah, that's a person, but I'm not really that suspicious.
Yeah.
This isn't like a one of those imposter games, Ziggy. Everyone in this series is generally a human, except for like the parrot.
Well, I think she's pretty epic. I also like that she immediately does a little dance with Eddie, and she does this
Again.
the spinning motion. She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like
I
they're
like-
Disney princesses, and they're like greeting a child.
Yeah.
I like how everyone talks about how great Bacon Bop is, except for Gregory, who is completely unfamiliar with it. It's the real Edgeworth bloodline being completely immune to pop culture, except for the Steel Samurai.
Yeah. He had his son grow up on the Steel Samurai. Not that.
Well, the Steel Samurai didn't exist, so...
Oh. I guess not then. He did show Edgeworth, Miles, Bacon Bop.
Yeah, that was... He didn't... But Miles did not see Bacon Bop until after Samson was already arrested for the murder.
Yeah. How sad.
Because he talks about wanting to show it to him, in the flashback sections, and then in the last non-flashback section, you can get Edgeworth to admit that he has seen it.
Let's see.
So therefore, timeline.
As I have it written in my notes, at some point around here is where we get the first animation of Eddie eating his notes. So that's something. I'm glad he did.
They have to show you that he's a freak, so you understand that he's the weird teenage girl who follows Gregory around.
Yeah, I'm glad that he didn't carry that quirk over into adulthood. Freaking eating paper.
Yeah, his new quirk is hugging everyone and doing the air quotes. And there's a funny thing I read on the wiki after when I was looking stuff up during the last case, because I could just freely go on the Ace Attorney wiki having played all the games.
Yeah.
Apparently, I forgot about this because I haven't read the fan translation script in so long, and I can't read Japanese. But there was a misconception the Japanese devs had when they were like designing his animations. They thought that Americans do air quotes for like emphasizing things. So in the like current translation, they had to go back and add like air quotes to all the lines where it uses that animation.
Wow.
They did not do that in the fan translation. They just kept it and just wrote like around the same lines as what he says in Japanese.
I see. Interesting.
That's just funny, I think. Where it's just like, yeah, I can see that being just like a thing that had to happen.
I guess I'll have to pay more attention to that in the future whenever he does the air quotes animation. He doesn't do that as his younger self at all.
Yeah, it's because he's supposed to have. He's another character who's supposed to have been in America, which I don't remember how they translate that for the American version. That's where he's supposed to have picked that up from. I'm talking about like Japanese version of Eddie Fender, whatever his name is here. You know?
Yeah.
They are presented slightly differently between the languages, of course. Everyone is. This is just the nature of localization as opposed to like directly translating everything. And I think a localized product is definitely better than a directly translated product. But
yeah,
this is just arguing about like anime now. If I'm gonna get too deep into this, so.
We also get the return of Detective Bad, who I have to say, is pretty good in this case.
Yeah, they actually drew entirely new sprites for him because he doesn't look as old because it's 18 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice at all. They look exactly the same to me.
He has no gray in his beard at all. It's just a pure black beard. That's pretty much it.
I see.
Yeah, he really didn't look that much younger.
But they did draw new sprites, kind of.
Yeah, I genuinely did not know at all. But yeah, I guess 18 years ago, they kind of have to. It would look pretty weird if he still had gray.
Even the flashback in Ace Attorney, it was like only 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, that's a bit more believable.
It was like 13 years in between his, because he uses the sprites all in Edgeworth, and Edgeworth 1 both times he appears.
Yeah. I also like that he has a bit more, I mean, it's not like a super big connection in this case, but his just like whole thing with like lollipops, I guess, sweet. And this whole case being about sweets, basically. Kind of neat.
It's the partners joked about that several times, about like his lollipop that he has instead of like a cigarette or anything.
But yeah, I
like the entire thing with his animations, they sort of like the grisly, hard-boiled detective, and then he pulls out like a mirror instead of a gun, or a lollipop instead of a cigarette.
Yeah, he never actually pulled out a mirror in this. Oh, wait, I'm looking back at my footage now. Yeah, his coat doesn't have any holes in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not shot up. Yeah,
they really did change that, huh?
Trauma.
And then technically, they're like the canon in Edgeworth 1. I didn't even realize he never pulled out the mirror until you said so. But then I'm looking at his sprites in the wiki. He doesn't have the mirror at all in his sprite sheet.
Yeah,
he does say in Ace Attorney Investigations 1 that he pulls out the mirror to look behind him for like assailants. So he hasn't become super paranoid yet.
I remember seeing that animation of him putting his hand in his coat so much, but I couldn't remember what he pulled out. I was like, was it a comb or something? Yeah, he never pulls out the mirror.
Yeah, he doesn't pull out anything in this because they didn't want to draw anything new, I guess. But I guess they did realize that canonically he does have the mirror to check like if there's someone trying to go up behind him to shoot at him.
Yeah, but I like the way his character is used in this case. I think it was a really good, smart idea. Having him be kind of an antagonist to Von Karma, just giving him sort of an antagonist in that sense. So it feels like he's a lot more useful and nice guy in this case.
It's also nice because you do need a detective character who's working like years ago who wasn't an Ace Attorney 1. And you probably want him to be connected to the current cast, but there's already a lot of people appearing in the present day segment, so you want someone who's like not going to be able to show back up. I think he dovetails very nicely with like roles in the case that were needed.
Yeah, it was good to have him here, let's say.
Yeah.
Good choice.
He's definitely like a way more serious Gumshoe who's like good at his job and takes the job seriously.
So he's nothing like Gumshoe.
Yeah, definitely Gumshoe.
Well,
Gumshoe is very dedicated to his work.
I have some things to say about Gumshoe in this case, which we'll get to.
Okay, well, actually, this is like the Gumshoe competent game, so I guess I can't really say that in this one because he actually does things.
I mean, I guess I don't know if it's like a huge thing, so maybe I'll just mention it now. But Gumshoe so far between the last case and this case has been extremely helpful. Like he's done a ton. He freaking risked his life to go with the gas mask in the poison room. Like, dang, he's putting in the work in this game. Holy crap. I guess if he's working with Edgeworth, then he really gets stuff done then, huh?
He wants to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also find out that Bad is on Team Ladder in this case, and Gregory and Eddie are both on Team Step Ladder.
That's true. Yeah, I did get that achievement. I agree with Gregory and Eddie.
Pixel Partners did not go explore the ladders. I'm so upset. I did not even know.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I explored everything.
But I mean, I can see Bad being a ladder guy. He just sees it like, well, a ladder. He really does look at the essence of everything, you know? Yeah.
I mean, you explored around with him quite. I thought it was interesting how he was your little helper more of the time than Eddie was.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I don't know.
Maybe they just thought the dynamic there was a bit more. It was a bit funnier, I guess.
Two serious men. Two grown 40-year-old dads.
like Bad is more of like a Cinderella, I guess. He's like, I guess I'll help you until the end where he's like actively helping you because
there's nothing that says Bad as a dad, but like it just fits so well because it rhymes. So therefore, two dads looking at the crime together, crime dads.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically adopting Edgeworth here.
Kind of. Well, he's trying to adopt Eddie. I mean, there's so many moments where
he does try to do that.
Gregory is like, is he trying to look for an apprentice or something?
Yeah, and then later he gets Gumshoe. Wow, I'm sure he's so happy about that.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Well, and if Miles is his younger brother, then he's technically adopting both of them. So they'd be all one big happy, angry family.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we all know Von Karma is the real Edgeworth adopter. Who's also
unfortunately
later.
Yes, we'll get to Edgeworth.
Edgeworth, Von Karma show. I am also in this case.
Another character introduced at this part of the game. The guy in the red hat. I know his name is different for you. But in the real translation, his name is Carmelo Gusto.
Gusto, I believe.
Gusto.
It's in Gustatori.
I mean, he's got caramel. I don't really know what that has to do with any of the stuff he actually does, but it's a candy thing, I guess.
Dane Gustavia is his name.
Dane Gustavia. Well, they got it extremely close then. But yes, Gusto.
Yeah, Gusto is it's Gusto because Gustatori system is the taste system.
Oh, I see. No,
it's also where Gustavia comes from in the fan translation.
There's no way I would have known that.
I just knew that before I played the game. I'm sorry. I'm just awesome like that.
Dang. Oh, I thought you were reading off the wiki. No, you're just
No. I actually knew about Gusto. I recognized that when I was playing it back in like whenever I first played the franchise. I was like, oh, Gustavia is in the Gustatori system. I got that one on my own.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's the power of medical things.
Oh, right, okay. Oh boy, you're turning to a robot. I'm sorry for a second. But yes.
You're also blind. So
oh, I'm also. I don't know. Maybe the Wi-Fi. It's kind of a bit wonky. But yes, Gusto. I like his animations. They're pretty funny.
He does like animations. I like his crappy art in the flashback, and later
Yeah.
at like the end of the case when he comes back, and it's supposed to be all the same stuff, but it actually looks good now.
I mean, I'll talk about it more later, but I do like how they I like how they use the fact that there's basically two cases, one in the past and one in the present, going on to have stuff like that, where you see that in the present his stuff has improved like so much more. I think that's
Yeah,
really
and he's
neat.
not wearing red in the because he doesn't cut himself like 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Character
wait, you're
growth.
so...
That's the reason. Well, it's because cooking is so dangerous, Allie. That's why he's constantly covered. That's why he wears red. It's to hide the blood.
Yeah. His little squeezer things, I don't really even know what they are supposed to be like swords, basically.
They're candy pumps because like his design concept is that he's like a samurai, but he just cooks desserts. So he has like sword like candy pumps.
Right.
The little candy pastry things he does are so cute. I mean, we already mentioned it, but yeah, I
Yeah.
found those adorable. I loved those animations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he shows up and he instantly tries to frame a completely separate character who we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Delicia Scone, is that the fan translation? Is that the real one?
Her official name is Delicia Scone. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm on the right mindset then. I can't remember her fan translation name.
Like delicious scones.
Yeah, Miss Delicious.
Yeah.
She's also British.
Is she?
But
She is
yeah,
British.
she's British in both. She says love. She says dearie. Those are all
She
British
gives people
grandma
nicknames.
things.
I kind of just figured she was like a grandma, but I guess she could be kind of
Calling
British.
people love is like so British. No one does that besides the British.
She's the Great British Bake Off insert.
Yeah. I guess so.
Anyway, I think it's a neat detail if you're like playing the case again, where if you're paying attention, you'll notice that like one of the first things Gusto tries to do is frame her for the crime instead of Tangaroa.
No.
Like while he's talking to Gregory, he just goes, "Oh yeah, she's ruthless. She would do anything to win."
Yeah. They set that up so then when you meet her, it's like, that doesn't really look like the sort of ruthless person I expected.
I still thought like of her as an almost the entire case because of that. Like it really did impact me.
Mm.
But it was all just made up by the funny man.
Just a little
Still
trick.
alive.
Yeah, I guess thinking back on that, he really was trying to like warp things to his own goals in the end. But yeah,
it's good detail.
I think she's a pretty neat character. I like all her animations, like she's doing the mixing bowl and like covering her face with it and stuff.
I like that instead of a sweating animation when she's nervous, that it's her mixing the bowl and the bowl is sweating. I thought that was really cute.
I like how if you wait long enough on her shock animation, she reveals that she caught her bowl with her foot after she dropped it, and then she pulls it back up and picks it back up.
Yeah.
What? That's so sick.
Just a bit of continuity there.
Yeah.
And yeah, while we're on the topic, the animations in this case are pretty good too. I mean, they had a lot for people like drinking tea, I guess, for neat, and just all the characters in general that they have. Like multiple different animations for characters in like different time periods. Although Scone didn't really change at all.
Yeah, but that's a joke, so it's funny.
Yeah.
Because her age is consistently question mark, and then she shows up and she looks exactly the same inexplicably. That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, she's a pharmacist, so I don't know. Maybe she found like the cure for.
Maybe she's actually 500 years old and she has the Philosopher's Stone, but we'll never know.
Could be.
Find out next case.
Spend all our time researching pharmacy instead of confections. So
yeah, that's what we find out in her
yeah, I guess we can just
room.
Move on to the second part when you're investigating a room.
Is that she doesn't know how to cook. To the extent that is required by being in the dessert competition that this is set in.
She's a fraud. She can't make a life-size castle all out of candy. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Any good confectioner would be able to do that. Come on. It's simple. Simple stuff right there. Gosh. We also have Bon Karma introduced here. He's
walking out of the candy castle, which is exactly where you expect Von Karma to appear in.
Yeah, he's just chilling out in there when you first meet him.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
And Von Karma is using like all the same sprites, except for a few new ones they made that he had in Edgeworth 1, which I always think is kind of weird because he had the cane in Edgeworth 1 because that was like 5 years ago. But in this, I always thought it was implied that he had the cane because he was shot in the shoulder, but he wasn't actually shot in the shoulder at this point because this is like right before that. It's like a year before that happens.
Year, I think.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is just that he had a cane incidentally, and then he got shot in the shoulder, and his arm became even worse now. But whatever, it's not that big of a deal. The thing that is important that they actually did catch is that when they were making a shocked animation for him, he doesn't grab his shoulder in this case. So good job. They caught that in detail.
Yeah, he still has like the same sort of expression on his face.
Yeah, it's the same. It's basically the same sprite Francisca has when she's shocked, because she doesn't grab her shoulder at all. She grabs her like the sides of her arms and does a little wiggle, but he doesn't do the wiggle.
He does not do the wiggle, unlike Francisca.
I mean, it's basically the same animation he had. He just doesn't grab his shoulder anymore, which no injury.
He's a bit better in this case than some of his last appearances. He's not like immediately dismissive of everything Gregory says. I guess just because Gregory has some merit behind him, unlike Phoenix. Also, I guess because they're not in court. Like, I mean, obviously they needed to have him be a bit more understanding of things because they're not in court. So like,
yeah, there's not a judge to force him to listen to things, so he has to do a bit of that on his own.
Yeah. I guess I like that we got a bit more out of him.
Otherwise, there would be like no gameplay because he's like 90% of who you're arguing against when you're playing Gregory. So it'd just be like, I don't care, and he'd leave.
Yeah, I kind of just noticed that like sometimes he would be like that, but then he'll start opening up and then letting you do things, and it's like I feel like that doesn't seem like a Von Karma thing to do, but
I don't really think he'd do it, but it's gameplay. There has to be some gameplay that isn't just like investigating and then talking to Delisha like once.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice.
But that's okay. I like that he's a bit more active in this case. Yeah, but you basically just show that Scone is a fraud, and you have a little back and forth with Von Karma, and then we're kind of left on a cliffhanger here at the end of this part because you both agree to go check out Frost's rooms, but then all the sculptures there are melted, and Eddie says, and then a year later they still hadn't really figured anything out, which I thought was great.
They all became water sculptures instead of ice sculptures, and that's a difficult medium to sculpt with.
Yeah. Good lead-in to the actual, well, not the actual.
I mean, this has been happening in the background because it starts with Edgeworth and they look at sculptures for a bit. That's not interesting to talk about because there's no murder.
Yeah.
Thankfully, an old man version of Carmelo Gusto walks out of the Autumn Wing, and he is dying of poison. So finally, murder. Yeah. So he doesn't die. So what a tragedy.
Yeah, nobody actually died in the present.
Only attempted murder. So much less. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's not a real crime.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I love about this case. Compared to the last flashback case we had in Investigations 1, I like that this one has more bearing on the present. Like, the only real setup for the flashback one and the last one was kind of just to set up I don't even remember her name.
Kay.
Kay and the laughing woman that
because the setup for the case is I remember when I met Kay. That's pretty much the setup.
Yeah, and then you just stay in the past the entire time, and it's like, hey, here's the main villain of the game in the second to last chapter. Yeah,
and obviously. Apparently, I think, we're going to do Gregory Edgeworth's last case. It is a more intriguing setup than here is the assistant character we just introduced's backstory.
Yeah.
I've always...
Maybe comparing it
isn't too... Something that I think is really fun about this case is, obviously, the writing team for this is not the team that wrote Ace Attorney 1. Like, Shu Takumi was not involved in this game. I've said that multiple times. So there's the big risk where you're going into, like, past information that wasn't really detailed and... kind of cheapening it that way. Like, if it's not good, it's a big risky thing, but I think they succeeded pretty well. I think it's funny that like so much of the series started because of Cupcake Wars. Oh
yeah, I 100% agree. They nailed it on this case that characterizing Gregory and also just like everything surrounding the whole thing that happened with Von Karma and how Miles' father died.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job. I mean, they kind of had to tiptoe around the fact that like, so wait, why didn't Eddie show up at all in any of those things mentioned previously? But
I mean, you don't really see that much of the actual trial in Ace Attorney 1, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah, I think enough details are kept vague that it's not a big problem.
I don't even think they show like Edgeworth pointing at the bench in Ace Attorney 1. I think that drawing is made for this game, but I could be wrong. My memory is pretty bad.
They at least show the CG of the very blurry CG of Gregory shot in the elevator.
It's so funny when they reuse that in the Edgeworth games because that's a GPA quality CG.
Yeah, they have to show that he slicked back his hair for court day.
And then when they were remaking all the assets for the collection, I guess they never used the remade version of the like dying in elevator CG, so it's still blurry because they like touched that version up. Because this is the last game where we'll get to see the DL6 flashback CG. It's been in like every game, but I mean, I've said this multiple times. Ace Attorney they try to make Ace Attorney so you can jump in at any game, so that they will stop as character background specific details become less important. They kind of just still like allude to them more and more vaguely, and this is the last time where it isn't as important to Edgeworth to like note, oh, my dad died at an elevator. So, unless my memory is bad and like he shows up later and I have a flashback to it for no reason, but this is in my memory, this is the last game where they show up in.
I see.
I can't remember if it's later in the case or not, but I did like that they kind of did make up for Ray or Eddie not being there. And by it, like him saying like, oh, if only I was there, if only I hadn't like left separately that day. And like that he regretted it as an excuse for like, wait, why wasn't Ray involved with it?
He just wasn't in the elevator is the thing.
Yeah,
he didn't leave with him. Okay. I guess it makes sense. I mean, he was with his dad, so like, get out of here, assistant.
It was the Edgeworth family go to the car time, and Yanni Yogi was there.
Yeah.
Yanni Yogi was there to be named after the Yu-Gi-Oh main character, I guess. But he's not important to this case because he's in jail or dead.
Exactly, yeah. They didn't show Yanni Yogi at all.
You know what is important to this case? The fact that now we get to see Larry Butts return.
Hold up. Just before Larry Butts, we also get a little cameo from
who is it? Rhonda Light.
Rhonda Light, yeah, and his wife. That was pretty
say her name.
Desiree.
Desiree.
I was hoping you'd remember because I grilled you about it.
Desiree. All right, it's Desiree. And also, maybe you can fill this in, Goomb. Are we supposed to know who, like, the kid on the right side and, like, the ladybug sort of hoodie is? Is that from a later game?
That's from later in this game.
Oh. Ooh. Interesting.
It's a little bit of we're throwing a future character at you.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
But technically, they don't introduce as many characters later on because it's already been introduced.
Well, I mean, he's not been introduced at all because we don't know his name. We just know that he wears an outfit.
Yeah, I just know that he exists. I found that interesting. I wasn't sure.
He exists
because I mean, obviously, this game was written after Apollo Justice, right?
Yeah, so, but it's not an Apollo Justice character.
I just wasn't sure if it was a character from that or something.
I mean, you know most of the characters in Apollo Justice because you played up to Case 3.
Yeah, he could have been in the later case.
That is a 4-case game, so...
Yeah. Let's see, though. You take a nice selfie with Eddie. Trying to recreate the magic that he had with that selfie with Gregory all those years back. And then, Larry Butts once again appears. Sorry, Lil Reese appears. Yes. What a guy.
Yeah, I'm glad they remembered that he's supposed to be Loris most of the time now, because he was not Loris in Investigations 1. And it's like, come on. It's like he's supposed to have a little arc in the last case where he's like, I'm doing art now because I'm a selfish jerk. I think that's a funny arc. He needs to stay committed to that.
I'm glad. Oh, sorry, you can go ahead.
And he was freaking incredible at art this case. Like, his
Yeah, I mean, I thought his art was pretty good in this case. I'm not gonna lie. I like this character a lot more here. Um, did good job overall. Oh jeez. Nope.
Sorry,
Uh-oh.
I can hear now.
I think Discord bugged out for a second there.
At what point did I stop talking?
I would just re-say what you were saying about Larry.
Oh
You were
god.
saying his art was good, and then
Yeah.
you cut out.
Yeah, so Pixel Partner is the lady is called Allie as well. She doesn't like Larry as a character. She finds him annoying. She finds him stupid. She thinks that he's a nuisance. All the things that Larry is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, all those things are true. I just think he's funny.
So, but, very accurately. So she was so mad that, like, he's found his one thing that he is good at and actually good at, like, unironically, like, actually good at art. And
Yeah,
that
he's
you can see the improvement from, like,
Yeah.
the first bridge with the fire to, like, this one. Like, genuinely, he's pretty good at the art now, and, like, he's quick at it. So
Like-
she was, like, so grumbling the whole time, giving him credit. Like, his art is so good.
Yeah, like those portraits he made of the girls was like
Yeah,
So cute.
extremely
I
good.
I was trying to say he was good in Ace Attorney 3 because the drawings in the credits that are of all the main cast in that game are, and also Elise, because she's not the main cast, but she's in the drawings. Those are made by him, is the idea,
I see.
Oh.
and those look good too.
I like that wrinkle for his character that like he doesn't really realize that he's actually really good at art. But yeah, I did not find him very annoying in this case at all. I actually thought he added a lot to it, way more than he did in the last case of Investigations 1, to be honest. As a Steel Samurai.
I like his important role of scarring Edgeworth for life in Turnabout Ablaze. That's like one of the best parts of the case.
I just found him kind of annoying in that case. They just handled him better here. I don't know.
He did have
Okay, they
the
handled him better
very...
overall here. Yeah, but you get to see his creepypasta fish lady statue drawing. It's like, oh, the statue is crying tears of blood with its hyper realistic eyes.
Yeah, and you really don't get the reveal for that until quite a bit later when you find out like that the body was inside of there. That didn't really make any sense to
Yeah,
me.
you get the
for a
reveal.
while.
That was not that. That was a different statue. You're confusing
Oh
the
my
statue.
god, I'm so.
You fell for the murderer, the tricks. You're confusing the Autumn and Winter Wings.
God damn it.
The fish
I
lady
did get
statue
pretty
is the-
confused by that.
The fish lady statue is the Pisces statue. The one the body is in later is the Gemini statue. The Pisces statue is made of actual ice, and it was one of the ones that was completed before the contest.
I see.
Because all of the ones in the Zodiac set, besides the winter ones, are made with real ice. The winter ones are shaved ice like desserts. Because they're made as part of the contest. And then also, the reason why it was crying tears of blood was because that was the ubiquium dripping onto it from the roof of the display case when it was being opened by to unleash the gas.
I see. Okay. The rooms just confused me a bit. I don't know.
That was the point.
Yeah.
It was meant to be
It
confusing to
confused
everyone
me
who had
too
seen
much.
them.
Okay. Let's see. Before we move on for a second, I did take a screenshot of a nice little line from Eddie when they're checking out the winter wing, or supposed winter wing, I guess.
No, that's the real winter wing.
The real winter
Yeah.
wing.
You
where he
never go
says-
into the autumn wing because only Gumshoe goes in because it's a poison gas room.
He's talking to Edgeworth and he says, "Howie, that's colder than a snowman's cold bits. I'm gonna freeze to death in here. Guess there's only one thing for it. Somebody's getting a snuggle."
Ooh.
Edgeworth does not reciprocate it, unfortunately. Which is quite sad.
No one ever reciprocates it except for no one so far except for
The
warden.
The
Vivi
warden.
Lagarde, and then she kissed
Yeah.
him. She upped the auntie.
Yeah.
That's the freak.
We immediately, once again, have the return of Larry is hiding something. But this time we do it in a mind chest because that's a new mechanic in this game. We have to take advantage of the new mechanic and also remind the player that whenever the opponent is angry, we should bide our time. We once again get the return to biding our time. But this mind chest was pretty good. There's two in this case, if I remember correctly, and they're both pretty good. They include like the whole thing where you have to find a clue first and then bring that up later.
Yeah, that is like the one extra wrinkle to Mind Chess, where you have to go through the dialogue tree in a certain order. But I mean, like, it's not an especially complex mini game.
Yeah, Mind Chess is not really hard. I find it extremely hard to fail any of them so far.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like this is the point in the game where I was like, yeah, this game is not very hard for the most part. A lot of the time, like during a testimony or like when you're about to present something, they're like, oh, if only I had this, and then they give like an incredibly specific hint to something you need. And I'm like, you don't need to do that.
yeah.
That's my like one gripe with this game, that it will only intensify as we get later into the game. Where it's like, you can stop holding my hand now. I'm a puzzle boy. I can figure this out on my own. But
A lot of the little hints they give you. I also have noticed that they've done and I wouldn't say this as a knock against the game or anything. I think this is actually good, but I have noticed they've done a lot more in the investigation sections where it's like, I should probably present like this exact piece of evidence to get the story moving forward.
I don't
Which
think it's a problem with
is
that in
good.
investigation segments, because I
Yeah.
think it should be clear what you have to like do to move the investigation segments forward. I think it's a problem in like testimonies and things that are supposed to be puzzles, and they kind of just like tell you most of the answer.
Yeah.
Like,
I've not gotten stuck in an investigation so far in this game. This one
like
also had
dial
more than the last case, which I found
like
nice.
dialogue like that, I think would be fine if like you had taken damage, and then like characters like, oh, if only maybe I should be thinking about like this lines, because like I think it's fine to give hints if you like people are like stuck, but if like before you even try to like think about it, they just kind of like tell you most of the answer a lot of the time, and I'm grumpy about it.
It's taking away
Yeah.
the fun in the game. Yeah.
That's why this could never be my favorite Ace Attorney game, as good as it is. It does suffer from that. It is some people's favorite. I am establishing this now. It is not my favorite.
That's fair. I guess generally for me, I would rather have the case not be too hard compared to being hard.
I like the moments
But
where I get to go urethra, like like Eustace Winter probably does. I
yeah.
was gonna make a joke about him saying that at some point, but I decided to say it now. That's what he would do if he was discovered something. Or he thought he
That
discovered
is
something.
true. He probably would
He'd just
say
go
that.
urethra. I got it. The winner has arrived.
Hell yeah.
Because he's also in this case. He is kind of the rival. The
Yeah, I
rival
think
can't really do anything.
just before he
then
shows up,
flip
you get that image from Larry. I think also Edgeworth mentioned something along the lines of using it as toilet paper. So that's
Yeah.
sad.
Edgeworth cannot bring himself to respect Larry no matter what. It's
Yeah.
also understandable.
And then Winner and Gavel show up. These freaking people. Oh my god. But there's a silver lining to this. We get Gavel interaction with Larry, which I found very funny. I don't know. She seems like
also-
such an intimidating, like, sort of evil character. And then Larry just throws her for a loop. I like that she says, "For the presiding judge's sake, I pray that you not ever be summoned to testify." The person has been
It's
summoned
already
multiple
happened. Like,
times.
yeah, it's already happened 3 times, I think.
And the judge fucking hates Larry.
Yeah.
Larry. Everyone hates Larry except for his like girlfriends, but they hit him after like a week, so it's fine.
We had a little transition here. This is when we're getting to the part of the case where sections are pretty short, but we have a
Yeah.
little
It
little
goes back and
thief.
forth real quick.
Yeah, we got a little thief section here.
Is this
With
the part
everything
where
going.
Winner tries to give Gumshoe a salary cut, and then Edgeworth's like, no, Gumshoe did good, and then tries to give him a salary raise?
Yeah, I think that is. Oh, Winner. What a guy.
He's like, oh, should I raise his salary instead then?
I should have taken a screenshot. I'm
Or no, I
sorry.
think he talks about giving him a bonus instead of a raise.
He was
Oh!
trying so hard to be doing something. I don't know. He was trying to do anything. The best was. He just wants to be useful.
I did take a
There's part later in
screenshot.
the case where Edgeworth like tries to get him to move or Kay tries to get him to move by saying somewhere else is like a better location. It's just like this is a more winning location to stand.
Yeah.
It's a
It's like,
better.
ooh.
Ooh, it's the best, you say.
Yeah, that's when you're investigating with Kay. Basically the
Yeah.
first time, actually.
It's literally the last investigation in the case.
Yeah.
The second time you get to walk around the lobby, maybe the third.
There's a lot of good dialogue in that part. I did take the screenshot. It's when you're talking with Scone about the switched rooms or whatever. It's like meant to confuse you.
Yeah.
She says,
Yeah, it worked on you.
Who wouldn't be all? Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. Wait, does it? I don't know. She
Remember,
says
she's
6'7". I just wrote that down.
Remember, she's British.
Yeah, she says, "Who wouldn't be all at 6s and 7s, eh?"
Yeah, she's British. See.
And then immediately after she says that, we find a dead body in the fountain. So,
yeah, and it cuts to the past. I almost said the future.
coincidence.
Gregory Edgeworth has been reincarnated. It's the future, and the entire investigation has happened again because fate is deterministic, and everything will happen again the exact same way every time everyone's reincarnated.
Yeah.
It cuts to the future where the entire case has happened again, thousands of years in the future, and Gregory Edgeworth has come back to do more investigating, but he's not allowed to because it's Von Karma.
Yeah. We find that dead body in the fountain. I gotta say, at first I thought it was a woman, just like the way it was positioned in that picture.
You think everyone with like longish hair is a woman?
We pretty immediately figure out that it's Frost. I mean, you're not supposed to know that it's the body from all the way back when, but yeah, I was like, I don't know, it's just some random.
I'm not sure how fast you're meant to figure that out because like I think it's pretty obvious like immediately, but you don't present it until like I think it is personally.
You never see the back of his head though, so I don't know. I mean, you never see the body. That's like the whole point of it. So
it's like I mean, you see like the side of his head in the picture the entire time.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
And also, like, it would
maybe
make sense
I'm just
to introduce
stupid.
like, a third victim in this case. is my logic.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
Like how I don't think 3 people can like die or almost die in the same building in one
Well,
case.
I thought it was supposed to be more like a thing where it's like, okay, so somebody didn't die, but we have to do that Ace Attorney thing where we have to have somebody die for there to be like a case to investigate, I guess.
Well, somebody has to die, don't they?
Yeah.
The judge with the shotgun.
I can't remember any specific case where that happens off the top of my head, but I do think that is a trope.
I mean, the only case in current Ace Attorney that has happened where like no one is dead and then somebody turns up dead is Stolen Turnabout.
Yeah, Stolen Turnabout, right. You're freaking investigating like a thief at the beginning, and it's like
that's like a full day of a thief trial, and at the very end of the thief trial is like Godot goes like, by the way, there's a dead body. So
yeah,
that presents like trial 2 of that case.
Okay, so one other time I was like, maybe it's happening again, but no, it was the body from back then. So
besides, I think the murder back then is totally part of this case.
I don't think they wanted you to figure that out immediately, because they want to have the reveal with the body being like frozen in ice happen later.
See, I've always approached this from the perspective of it is obvious, but the mystery is how it got there. That's been my perspective when I'm doing it mentally, is that I always think that's my perspective on how it's arranged personally.
Well, I guess we just have to have different perspectives, because I did not immediately cop that as the body from way back then, so I don't know.
I thought it was
because like
and was confused.
I always have the mindset. Obviously, when they're introducing like the case that Gregory Edgeworth died in, he didn't win that case. We know that. It's like a conclusion that is established from the beginning because Von Karma has not lost a case.
Yeah.
So we know that since they obviously Tankeroa isn't the real murderer, so I always figured you're going to prove who the real murderer was as part of the case. So they're like introducing the setup. There's something that happens at the end.
Yeah.
So that's part of my logic when I was like thinking about this way back when. That's why I always felt it's like it's just a thing that's like, oh yeah, it's the old victim. I don't know. We can go past this to the flashback 2 or 3. I don't remember how many there are.
Yeah. So we're on like what is this? Middle part 3.
This is whatever. I think it's whatever like the really small investigation segment is when you're Gregory and you're in the lobby.
Yeah. So it's kind of to establish a lot of things with the camera that Judy had. Also some statements from people. I'm also seeing on
the case.
I'm seeing on the thing here now they actually have a part where you look at a 3D model of a teapot, which you did not do in the remake. I didn't look at anything.
Oh, you do that. It's optional. It's
Oh, it
in
is?
both.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed
If
it.
you look in your if you look in your organizer, you can press A to examine certain pieces of evidence, and they're 3D models. It's some of them are mandatory, some of them are optional. Usually they force you to do the mandatory ones, though.
Okay, yeah. Well, this was definitely not mandatory. I didn't look at a single 3D model this entire case.
In the 3DS era Ace Attorney, they will expect you to just do that on your own and look at them.
I see. Well, I guess I better.
But they also tutorialize it that way in 3DS era Ace Attorney, so it is something that is made much more clear you can do to evidence and you should be doing.
I see. I mean, they definitely did it a lot in Investigations 1.
In the Investigations games, to my memory, you never have to do it to an optional thing. It just exists for optional things like the teapot.
Oh, no, you did it in the last case with the chess set.
Yeah, like, but they make you look at it, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is that in the 3DS, there are times where they just add evidence to your like court record, and then they expect you to go out and look at it on your own and find stuff.
I see.
So it is a good time to establish that in the DS era of Ace Attorney, there are 3D models of evidence. I don't remember if it's in Appellate Justice or not, but definitely in both the Investigations games, there are things you can look at and rotate around and look at different angles. Like, for example, in every Investigations case, there's a 3D model of the Prosecutor's badge if you press A in the organizer on it.
Oh, I see. I need to do that.
And then you can get an Edgeworth line where he looks at the back of his badge and sees his identification number and goes, "We're just numbers to them, aren't we?"
Wow. Well, I guess it does kind of go with the themes of this game. With the whole introduction of, like, the committee. The committee. Gavel just keeps bringing that up over and over and over again.
I mean, that's who she works for.
Yeah.
As one of her jobs.
Let's move on, though, shall we? There's still a lot to go through. Let's see. You go back and I guess it's just a day passes in the past, and then you go talk to Tangaroa again to kind of just get caught up on things. It's more information.
Get to learn taste disorder lore.
Yeah, you get the bits of evidence and stuff about like what's actually in the Angel book, and also why Gusto's and Frost stuff were so similar. Try to build up that little. You
just learn they were similar from Tangaroa, and that he like suspects them of having foul play involved. You don't confirm it until you're doing Von Karma testimony later.
Yeah. But yeah, this part is basically just our big back and forth with Von Karma.
Yeah, it starts off with a testimony that is only 2 statements long, which is really funny.
Yeah. Really puts
but you get and then later in that Von Karma conversation, you get my favorite Von Karma quote from this case, which is reestablishing a thing from Ace Attorney 1, which is my wife, for example, is an amateur. Cooking puts first-class chefs to shame.
Yeah, I screenshotted that one too.
Yeah, it's really funny that Von Karma like dotes on his family so much when he's talking.
Such a wife lover.
Yeah,
we
wife
never
guy.
See his wife though.
Yeah. Do you think his wife is as hot as Payne's wife?
Yes.
Would that be Francisca's mom then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. The Von Karma family tree.
Yeah.
He has more children than just Francisca and Edgeworth.
When are we gonna get the Von Karma spinoff?
I count Edgeworth.
Because he mentions having a granddaughter in Ace Attorney 1, and Francisca does not have children, and neither does Edgeworth.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if Von Karma would count Edgeworth as his kid. I don't think he would. I think everyone else would, but I don't think he would.
Yeah. Pawn, I guess. Probably see him as like a pawn in his chess game or whatever.
Yeah. He's in his overly intricate revenge plan because he got a single penalty in his career.
Yeah.
Gotta get revenge on this dead guy who I killed.
Let's see though. That's pretty much the end of the flashback sections at all. This actually leads us into the 3-part end section of the game.
There's one last thing the flashbacks establish, which is that Gregory accuses Von Karma of not having the body for his murder investigation.
Right.
But they aren't able to prove it. And then, what do you know? The body showed up. now in the future when it should like be in a morgue or something. I don't know where
Wow.
bodies go. I
And
guess
Von
it probably.
Karma isn't here.
I guess it's Japanifornia, and I assume that since they couldn't find his like son until later, they say that. So I assume they just kind of cremated it and just put the ashes away.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a huge investigation.
Would be the idea if they like actually had the
section here,
body.
though. I gotta mention this. I like how in this case, Gavel and Winter are definitely against you, but you're already starting to get a bit more of cooperation with them. Like, I like how she's obviously opposed to Edgeworth like doing any investigating at all, but she's not immediately like saying you're risking your badge doing every single thing you ever do during this entire one, which is nice. I kind of like that's more like a a dynamic of them being opposed against each other to get to the truth, I guess.
Yeah, I think at this point they both understand that Edgeworth is risking his badge by continuing to do this. She doesn't need to repeat it as often.
Yeah, it got kind of annoying in the last case, so glad they don't do it as much here. And also, Winter is getting better as a character, for sure. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what they're trying to do with his character.
I like the bit where he has his urethra moment. He decided the victim committed suicide.
Yeah.
For no reason. Just...
Oh,
I don't remember the exact phrasing in the official translation, but I always liked the fan translations. He thought he'd look refined if he did it in an art gallery.
We kind of already went past it, but I'll just mention it now. Why does Von Karma get the grand revival themes whenever he shows up in this? I feel like he's not the sort of character that should be getting a grand revival theme.
It's the same one they use for Francisco.
I know, but I'm like,
I think that's the entire logic. Is that it's Francisco
I don't think Von Karma is worthy of that theme.
I mean, it is intense. It's more heroic than he deserves, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's way more heroic than he deserves, but whatever. I guess technically he hasn't committed a murder at this point in time, although he's definitely probably forged
that depends on what your perspective of murder is. He definitely has gotten innocent people killed, probably.
Yeah.
Most likely. Because he doesn't actually care if the people he finds guilty are guilty, and this is no matter which version of the game you're playing, even in Japan, this is a country willing to do capital punishment, and they've done it to murderers in the series before.
Yeah.
So there are odds that Von Karma has indirectly.
He hasn't committed it himself yet, I guess.
Yeah, he just did it through apathy, maybe. It is not confirmed to be a thing that he has done. There's never. Yeah. But I mean, the odds that he has done it are not zero.
Yeah, we do some more investigating though. We get a nice animation of Edgeworth and Kay drinking tea.
Yeah, you get to. Winter has like guards posted to make sure Edgeworth doesn't like leave the lobby area because it's always allowed to investigate. And there's one guard who's just like facing a wall.
Yeah.
And then just like, I'm sure if you wanted to walk through this wall, you could if you wanted to, Mr. Edgeworth. Something along those lines.
I like how there's a bunch of different things when you check out the flowers of Kay, like wanting to steal something, then immediately realizing that's probably not a good idea.
There's some bit later in the case where like Kay says something along the lines like, I would be a very good great thief if you did that, and then Edgeworth's just like, so there's no problem then.
Yeah.
Kay is very loser core, where she never does any stealing. Just constantly says she will.
She's just always yearning.
Yeah, children yearn to pick pockets on the streets.
I also like it's a pretty, maybe not super easily missable thing, but when you present evidence to Judy that doesn't really have any relevance, she has a nice little singing number with Kay, which I thought was nice.
That's where the cake murders line comes from, is that singing conversation.
Yeah. Yes. Big long investigation though. Basically just to establish the whole thing with being able to move the ice sculptures, and also Judy knowing about the stuff in the book. Yeah. And we also get Larry's famous drawing. So
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that pretty woman.
I like how Scone was included in that. Good.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. So we basically get into the part where we're trying to figure out what Judy did, which is not being the murderer, in fact.
I mean, no offense to like Larry's taste in women or other people's taste in women, but I always consider Scone more of like a medical anomaly than a pretty woman. She's such a bizarre character.
Yeah.
Shows up completely unaged after 18 years.
Well, it's okay.
Maybe she's a lich.
Witch.
Lich with an L.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she could be a witch too. But lich is funnier.
Let's see though. I mean, in this one, you basically figure out all the stuff about moving around the bodies and also the one being hidden inside the ice sculpture. You also get handed a book about the Statute of Limitations, much like the
Statute
Evidence
of
Law
Limitations.
book.
It's the same book series as Evidence Law because there's the weird like chick thing on it.
Yeah. Well, this time there's a cat. So.
Oh, is it a different animal? Maybe I misremember. I always thought it was the same for years. I guess I'm stupid.
Nope.
I guess I always play those cases exactly far enough apart to remember the exact animal in the book.
Yeah. That was funny that Cavell pulled that out though.
They always look like high school textbooks.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit less elegantly done than Rise from the Ashes, like the whole Evidence Law versus
I think the
Statute of Limitations law.
I think the problem is they basically use it in the exact same way that they did in Rise from the Ashes, where it's just like it's that one last thing that you bring up to kind of like turn things around.
I think we're definitely underselling how clever it is in Rise from the Ashes. That's like the best part of Ace Journey 1.
Well, I'm saying it's great in that case, but they kind of use it the same way in this case. A bit.
I mean, just in the fact that it's like the last thing you present. Yeah.
I mean,
the context is fairly different just because it's a normal testimony in this case, and not like you have to recontextualize presenting a certain evidence at a certain point because of the way evidence law works, which is really interesting and not done anywhere else.
Yeah.
But this is just me glazing how the Rise from the Ashes ends, which I already did. So I will not.
Also, the Statute of Limitations, like the rules for that in this case, are a little bit wishy-washy. I don't know if they necessarily make so much more sense. I mean, they're so specific. It's like, yeah, they wrote this specifically for this exact scenario.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the only way it really makes sense is that if you just kind of assume there are more ways to extend it that just aren't covered. But they probably should have like put in some extra ones so it isn't like completely obvious. These are like the two things that you need.
Yeah.
I do like how it ends with it. But as a character moment, I just think that it is more clever in Rise from the Ashes.
I agree. Rise from the Ashes just has you be given the book at like the beginning of the trial, I think, just before it.
It's like the beginning of the last day of the trial, so it's not like there for the entire time, but
That's the one with Iris, right? I'm having a
no.
That's the one where Emma Skye comes from.
Yeah, Emma Skye. And
listen, you'll be wanting to let me phrase this in a way that doesn't mean something. You'll be wanting to refresh yourself on your Emma Skye knowledge. It's gonna be really important.
And swimming, Damon Gant, remember?
Yeah. Listen.
Yes.
Remembering that Emma Skye exists will be progressively more important as we continue approaching the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Yeah, remember when she showed up in Investigations 1 for like 1 second and wasn't relevant ever again? They just had her show up for no reason.
It is still a mystery to me why they did that in the first place.
I have no idea. They had to use Illumina.
I really like Emma Skye. She's currently the only Ace Attorney character on my Fibonacci Life Island, so I was fine with it, but...
Who is?
Emma Skye.
Oh.
Emma Skye's great. I'm just like, in that case, I was like, you went too far. You went too far with just like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this?
I mean, not the version of Emma Skye you've seen, but I mean, I've already blatantly said she's going to be showing up in future games multiple times, so...
Yeah.
I like
Um,
Allie.
yes, but basically from this, we find out all the stuff about Judy stealing the stuff and then also setting a trap for the killer so that it will look like they killed themselves. Quite the ingenious scheme, to say.
Yeah, I don't really know how she expected the cops to come to the conclusion they killed themselves, because, like, only an idiot, like, I don't know, Eustace Winter would think that.
Yeah.
But I think she had a secondary plan to also frame Delicia, because every culprit in this case wants to frame Delicia.
Yeah. Kind of sad. She's just a pharmacist, just a poor pharmacist.
She's just an unaging pharmacist.
Yeah, with the power of eternal life.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, we move into the final section here, which is basically when Gusteau becomes back alive and you play mind chess with him
I will
immediately.
become back my life.
I liked all the stuff that you got out of him from this, especially in regards to like learning more about what he's done in the time since then, and then also like the information you learned about his son. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I mean, I'm assuming you can't answer this, Goomb, but it's pretty obvious his son is going to show up in one of these last two cases.
I cannot confirm or deny that his son will ever show up.
Because they brought that up quite a lot. I was like, we don't know where his son went. I was like, yeah, okay, he's going to show up again.
He doesn't know where his son went. He just went, this kid failed to help me in any of the finals. Bye.
Yeah, this kid failed to eat my stuff for me, so bye-bye. Also find that pretty disgusting how we learned about the fact that he hid like the blood or whatever on the salty parts of the harp and then just people ate it. Ew.
Maybe she's a vampire. Maybe that's why she's unaged.
Yeah. He just knew where the blood was.
It's yeah, it was salty.
It's a perfect excuse.
I perpetually forget that detail of this case every time I play it. I'm always like, oh yeah, that's a thing in this. That there is shavings from the other salt lamp.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of gloss over it, but I was like thinking about it, like, ew, poor Scone. I mean, I guess she did that like 18 years ago, but still.
Yeah, she ate random blood 18 years ago. I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. The blood was too salty for my taste. I prefer it more fresh. Probably what she meant to say.
Well, it was only salty because it was from the salt lamp, made of salt.
Yeah. The whole ending of this case is basically just that back and forth with Gusteau about the statute of limitations. Kind of reminds me of the extraterrestrial rights, but
by the way, you do know it's actually statute of limitations, right? With it like
statute.
I was saying statute as a joke. I just want to make sure you also knew it was a joke.
Statute of limitations.
Something I was saying statute before this is a joke, as in like extraterrestrial rights instead of extraterritorial rights.
Look, you can't mess with me like this, okay?
Oh no!
Sometimes I just think the T is silent, alright? I mean, it might be,
but I'm pretty sure it's statute of limitations, the TE, okay?
Goomb was correct.
Whatever. He goes to Zhengfa, and then that knocks off 3 years, and then...
I do like how he's willing to admit he did the murder, because he's pretty sure that he has it covered for the entire statute of limitations. And that's the Presto testimony where he's like, lol, I have immunity because the crime's already done in the eyes of the law. We just couldn't figure it out.
And then you do the whole thing with actually accomplice, which I guess adds an extra year. So you can't be tried for this.
Yeah, and then you get fun characterization where it's like, Eddie Fender also figured that out. He just wasn't willing to use the conviction of Tangaroa as a defense attorney. He wasn't willing to do it. It just was too immoral for him. And then later on, he's like, well, I guess it's a good thing we couldn't get it overturned until now, because we wouldn't be able to get Gusteau for it if it was overturned. It's a legal contradiction. It's almost like the law isn't some divine being you should be following. With complete sincerity.
I wonder what they're trying to set up there.
Conflicts.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, but we kind of get the whole sort of truth here. I like that they actually have a kind of reasoning for Gusteau to do the murder. Once again, it's not just. I mean, it is for power and money, of
I
course.
don't think it's for money at all.
Well, fame, I guess. But
I mean, the murderer is
He
just
also got
result of him being
betrayed.
blackmailed, I guess. But I don't think he really cares about the blackmail because he wants to be seen as a great chef.
for a certain amount of it, not the murder, but like the conspirating for the prize.
Oh yeah, the conspirator
was out of
was-
evilness.
Yeah,
But then, like, the
originally,
murder itself was just because he was betrayed. So
Yeah,
That's
I
much
think
more
originally he agreed to conspire just because he wanted the title of greatest chef, and then later he definitely agreed to conspire because he realized he could cure his taste disorder.
yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of skipped over the taste disorder thing, but I mean, I thought that was an interesting wrinkle in this case. We actually don't even get a name for it until this like last part where Gusto shows up again. So
What was it?
interesting.
Half of the contestants ended up having it where they can't taste. The one was salt, and then one was all flavors.
Yeah, I think Tangaro had it, Gusto had it.
Yeah, Tangaroa realized he had it in jail, so he's like, "Oh, this jail food tastes like nothing." And he's like,
He had
"Oh,
a different
okay."
version though.
He could only taste like sweet flavors is the idea, and then they don't serve sweet stuff in jail. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now
They serve
they
French fries.
the French fries and ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Which I mean, honestly, doesn't sound that bad to me. Gets thrown in jail.
Yeah.
But I really
good
like
French
French fries, so I'm very easy to bribe.
That's true.
I'm a red-blooded American. What can I say?
Although apparently once Tangaro shows up, then they start having a suite in the jail.
Yeah.
So
Edgeworth is really the quality of life in the prison worse, because first he gets the award and you introduce animals like arrested, so they're probably gonna take those away. And then second, he gets the guy who's making them all candy. So taking those away.
Yeah, Edgeworth is kind of a evil in this game.
Yeah, this game is actually Ace Attorney. Edgeworth makes the quality of life for various prisoners significantly worse. I'm sorry you had to figure out this way.
Yeah. That's also a nice wrinkle that sort of tidbit that we get though, that the reason Eddie was actually in the prison in the first place was he was visiting Tangaro from the last case, which is
Yeah, he did every day except for when he was in the other country, but now he's doing it every day again.
feels like there's. I mean, it's not that they didn't like set things up like this in the last game, but it just feels a bit more cohesive in this one, and also like the overall threat, I guess, of the committee and stuff. Just a bit more interesting. I don't know.
I definitely feel like this second game has had the trials and tribulation effect, where it's like they kind of figured their shit out during the first one, and now that they're kind of really rolling with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On every
I agree with
on
that.
every front except for difficulty, I think this is a very good Ace Attorney game. I just have my gripes about the difficulty, but I already talked about those. I'll probably talk about them again.
Yeah.
Trials and Tribulations was number 2, right?
That's
I was trying
3.
Oh,
Spirit of Justice then.
Two,
My bad.
Spirit of Justice
no.
is number 6. We have not talked about
Two
Spirit of
is
Justice at all.
Justice for
What?
all.
Oh, just
I can understand why you would mix them though. They both have
Yeah,
justice. in it.
they murder Apollo Justice and his ghost shows up. And that's why it's the Apollo Justice trilogy. It's his spirit. You see?
I would
Spoilers.
I would say though that Justice for All is still working out the kinks though, because the whole Cyclock thing is a bit buddy in that game.
I mean,
think
it
it
did
says
a
they're
whole new
working out their
concept.
kinks because Francisca has a weapon. You thought that was hot.
That's true, yeah. We're working that out.
More ways than one.
Hey, and Francisco was in the first investigations game. They're still working things out in that one. So, seems like they've kind of hit their stride here. Oh man, I can't wait for the third game in the investigation series where they really get things going. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they make a third game, there's gonna be like no time for it to be set.
Yeah.
If they don't want to do it before the Apollo Justice time skip happens.
I mean, we can. I mean, well, you can't really speculate on that, but I guess Allie and I can. I mean, I feel like this game kind of has to be the sort of like turning point with whether Edgeworth is going to continue being a prosecutor or not. I feel like in the end, he's probably still going to go with it, just because he's going to be like, even though I've worked as more of a defense attorney in this game, I still have my convictions, and I'm really like a prosecutor in the end. But I feel like that's what they're building up to. I mean.
I don't think that's the exact phrasing Edgeworth will use. I don't think he'll talk about this being a game.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I guess you wouldn't say that, but
I guess even in these investigations too, other than ODS.
yeah. I must think about my prosecutor's gambit and what I must do with it. But that's definitely what they're building toward. They're trying to
There,
shake his foundations with the prosecutors because of the
there's a
whole
YouTube
committee.
video I like that I couldn't post here, where it's like Ace Attorney if they did a title drop in every game, and investigations is like, "Kay, you truly were useful in my Ace Attorney investigations." And then Gumshoe goes, "What about me, pal? Of course, you were helpful in my investigations too."
So stupid.
Yeah, that's the case though. One other thing I just thought of, I like that the committee sort of implies that there was also a higher power than even Von Karma in the end, and they kind of he
I
went
mean, they
against
say
some
the
back.
chief prosecutor gave him his penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I investigated in Ace Attorney 1, but also I repeat it again in this case. Even if they didn't say it, they say it in this case.
Well, once again, they just do a very good job of sort of expanding lore that we have known for a while and giving it more context, which is great.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin anything.
Now you get to know that Cupcake Wars made Phoenix Wright become a defense attorney. If you like trace the dominoes really deep down,
Yeah.
two men decide to cheat at Cupcake Wars leads to Ace Attorney.
Yeah, when you really simplify it down to that, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so just remember Bridge to Turnabout when you're playing that. That all started because of Cupcake Wars.
Jeez. Yeah, it's a pretty silly sort of setting for a case, but the actual like mystery and consequences of it are very interesting to think about. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I like uber serious because like it feels more like a normal Ace Attorney case that way because the settings are very rarely like super serious. It's only for like the super big important ones. And I think it would feel disingenuous for him as like, oh, it's always a super important case.
Yeah, Ace Attorney games are generally comedy games, I would say. Until they usually get to like the last case where things get serious, but generally they're pretty lighthearted.
They're lighthearted. They always have comedic elements to them. Maybe they're not like purely comedy because there's always a murder going on.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe sometime in the future they'll have a funny murder.
They have emotional moments in all the cases generally.
Yeah. I'd say like 80% of the time though, it's trying to make you laugh.
I like the emotional part that we kind of glossed over, where like Judy was this whole time like trying to get back what she lost because of the murder.
Yeah.
What Tangaroa lost because she lives only for him, despite what he said to her.
I guess we kind of glossed over that, but yes, that part was very good. I liked Judy's character in this case.
Yeah, she really did not listen to him at all, though.
Yeah.
It's like, don't live for only me, Judy. Okay, I will live for only you. Got it. I will do everything in my power to buy back your house, sir.
Anything for you.
At first I thought she was like his wife or something, but I liked that it was more just like a father-daughter kind of relationship.
Yeah, she's basically his daughter, but she didn't get to inherit anything because she's not biologically related.
Yeah.
Because he just found her on like his doorstep one Christmas Eve.
So then she worked like super hard for the past 18 years to buy back the mansion.
Yeah, she was in acting. They specify that.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, any other thoughts on this case from either of you?
Oh yeah, the acting gels well with she was on Bacon Bop, so she had showbiz experience.
True. That's true. What about you, Allie? Any other thoughts on this case?
No, I thought it was a pretty good case overall. I mean, I kind of got a little bit confused when it came to like the names and all the different characters and like all the different rooms. I feel like all the information was just close enough together where it was like really confusable, but like at times that was part of the point with like the winter and autumn rooms. So it like me trying to keep track of things and keeping all of it straight was a little difficult, but overall I really liked the concept. I liked the characters. I didn't know who it was gonna be, which is a rare thing for an Ace Attorney case, so it was pretty good. It's one of the better investigations cases for sure so far.
I wish maybe they had a bit more characterization for Gusteau being the main villain and all. Like I think he was fine in the end, but he definitely didn't get as much screen time as a lot of the other characters, just because he was incapacitated for most of the present day.
And then in the past, Von Karma was like not letting you talk to him.
Yeah, they could have maybe tried to figure out a way to have him be more in there. He also didn't have like an amazing breakdown, I'd say. It was just okay.
I always feel like it's supposed to be like a seppuku joke where he's like killing himself because he's a samurai, maybe.
Yeah, I can see
there
that.
are 2 breakdowns in this case, or 3 if you count the Judy has like 2 breakdown animations, kind of. They're both her crying. I don't think any of them are super amazing. They're definitely like among the weaker ones in this game, I'd say. But this game has pretty strong ones overall.
Yeah, they have like Judy and Tanjiro, like when they cry, it like looks like cream or whatever.
And then there's her comically large tears. I guess Tanjiro also has like crying at the end too. That's I guess there's 4 because she has like comically large tears and as like a second mini breakdown at the very end when he's like, I'll defend you.
Yeah, he also has all his hair go white, and also looks visibly older. I like that they redid his sprite.
He looks stressed the fuck out.
That's because he was traumatized by Von Karma,
or he didn't have enough candy.
Or as the courts would have you believe, only by Ian Sideman, the disgraced detective.
Yeah, I can't wait for Ian Sideman to show up.
Yeah. The little, I like the minor characters with incredibly obvious pun names. Trend continuing because it's Inside Man, Ian Sideman.
Yeah.
Or the fan translation where it's also an incredibly obvious name of Replacer.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a big fan of the setting for this case. I really liked how they took full advantage of it being a flashback case while also having it be a present day case as well. That was really good. Definitely better handled than the flashback case in the last game. And the music was very good. And I also thought that this case did a huge job in building out Eddie's character, like that whole CG at the end where he places the 2 pictures next to each other of their selfies with both Edgeworths. It was very, very good.
Yeah, you get the sad Bonds a Heart That Believes song, or whatever the new title is that is made by not people who are not professional translators.
Yeah.
But that's the name to me, as someone who doesn't remember what the actual official name of the soundtrack is.
Eddie Fender is pretty quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in this game, so he's great. Poor Kay, she's just kind of there, I guess. It's okay. She's still funny sometimes. Well, I guess if that's everything everybody has to say about the case, we can go ahead and give our rankings / emotions / other stuff. How about we start with you this time, Allie? Where are you ranking this case?
So I guesstimated where I ranked the last 2. And I put this one as... Where did I put it? I put it at the bottom of A tier. I liked it. I liked it enough. It probably, honestly, deserves to be higher in comparison to how I talked about it, but... I mean, overall, it was a pretty good case. Top 50%.
That's pretty good. There you go. What about you, Goomb? What emotion is this case giving you?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to be somewhat conservative here because I don't remember if it's my favorite case in this game or not. It is a case where it could be a different one. I have to reevaluate the one that could be my favorite when I play it again. So I can't declare which case in the game is my favorite because there are several very good cases in this game, in my opinion. But I do think this case is very good. I will once again use the bizarre emotion that I don't understand why this is an emotion of connected. I sure am connected.
Wow.
That is me being conservative. I might have gone higher if I decided this is my favorite case in the game. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Well, there you go. Well, very connected to this case. All right.
This case made me feel connected, whatever that means. Take that as what you will.
Well, I thought about this for a while because, as you can probably guess, I was a big fan of this case. I gotta say, I think it's top 5 for me currently. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun on that. If Goomb is speaking the truth and the rest of the 2 cases in this case are very good, but this is going above Recipe for Turnabout for me and below Turnabout Goodbyes. That puts it at number 5.
Oh, you need to know, this is a case that is generally in the Ace Attorney fan base. It's pretty highly regarded. I am an outlier where I'm not sure what's favorite case in this game or not. It is a lot of people's favorite case in this game. So
I see. Okay, just for me, the whole stuff, I've said it and I'll say it again, with the past and the present, and also getting to learn more about Gregory Edgeworth was absolutely perfect. It was great.
Yeah. It is a very good case. Again, a lot of my weakness for it is just that I just think it's a bit long, but I understand why it's long. It's one of those things where like I don't know if there's a way to shorten it or if there's a way to make it feel like paced better to me. That's just the only reason why I'm like more reluctant to say, oh, it's my favorite case in the game. It's just pacing for me personally.
That's fair. Yeah, it is a very long case, so I can understand that. I don't know. Everything just worked for me. I mean, I don't think it is as good as my top 4 are all end cases from the last games. So
yeah,
kind of hard to compete with those ones. I don't know. Maybe the last case of this game will change that. Well, I mean, maybe it'll be part of that top 4. But we'll see.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that I am slightly more down on this case. I still think it's a very good case. I'm just slightly more down than a lot of people are.
I'm kind of just wishy-washy on this one because there are parts I like and sort of dislike about Turnabout Goodbyes, which is the one above this. And there are also parts I like and dislike about Recipe for Turnabout, which is just below, and also the Stolen Turnabout, which is just below. I didn't really think a case from any of these investigations games would crack above the Stolen Turnabout, because I think that is like prime what a good case should be. So, wait, I don't know, but I think this one cracked it for me. That sort of threshold.
I'm curious what I'll think of like the greatest attorney cases when we get there. Because there are some, they're definitely experimental with case structure and pacing in those games.
I see. Well,
it's definitely maybe I don't know. They're a bit experimental in Ace Attorney 6 too, but they're experimental in a way that is not really super interesting to talk about.
Well, we'll just have to keep trucking along until we get to those cases.
Might be sounding like I hate those games. I do not hate those games.
Well, with that, Goomb, where can people find you?
I'm actually frozen inside of an ice sculpture right now. You'll never find me for 18 years.
Okay. Well, just wait 18 years, and then maybe Goomb will reveal where he is.
I'll be revealed. They'll open an art gallery, and I'll be there in the ice sculpture.
What about
take a selfie in front of me, and it'll be really morbid.
Yeah, I noticed in that picture they don't actually show the ice sculpture. Like, it would have been really funny if you could look back though and just see like the outline of a dead body within it. But no, they did not show that. So, what about you, Allie? Where can people find you?
People can find my body floating up in the middle of the fountain, in the middle of the art gallery 18 years later.
Jesus. Okay.
Just wait for that 18 years later.
Right after the cloth shows up and Scone tries to take it away. Please. All right. Well, you can always find me here on the Zigzam YouTube channel. As always, remember to press in your rebuttal. I guess that's a rebuttal in this game. It's not a cross-examination because they're not in court.
It's arguments in rebuttal instead of testimony cross-examination. But I keep calling them cross-examinations because I'm stupid.
Although I will say, it kind of seemed like the whole reason, one of the reasons they wanted to introduce Gamel is just to have like a judge be a part of their rebuttals and stuff. She kind of fills that role. So, I mean, they literally call her like Your Honor multiple times. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, that'll do it here for this episode. This is a very long episode for a case that's not even the last case of a game. Can you believe that?
A long case.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff
Incredible.
that happened.
Yeah, we definitely glossed over a ton of things. There's just too much to talk about. Yeah, there you go. And with that, we will be here next week to talk about the next case, which
Is it the Forsaken Turnabout
is
or a Turnabout Forsaken or something like that?
a Turnabout Forsaken.
Okay,
At least
cool.
according to the strategy wiki. So,
Those are the correct titles for the current English translation. I don't know, I'm calling them like correct. Those are the official titles. Is the word I should be using.
I wasn't entirely sure because they use screenshots from the non-official one.
That's funny. They
Yeah,
probably just updated like all the terminology and names, nothing else.
I noticed that Judy had the wrong name in one of them. The screenshots they took. I was like,
Yeah, but
that's not right.
I just remembered I remembered that Forsaken was in the title, but I just don't remember where it was.
I see. All right, well, that'll do it. We'll be here next week because the next case isn't terribly wrong. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye now.